Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer. Behind me is Steve Wilkes.
The ever-lovely Steve Wilkes.
And the ever-lovely Andy Sparks.
I'm not sure about the whole lovely thing.
Neither am I.
And we're going around, we're in town in the Seattle area for the National Homebrewers Conference. Our tour guide is Mr. Zot O'Connor.
Howdy.
Who's taking a break from texting while driving to...
Videoing while texting and driving.
We're not distracted at all.
Oh, look, Facebook.
We're going... Zod is...
It's your turn on Sudoku.
Zod is...
Hang on, I have to draw a panda bear.
Zod is nice enough to give us a tour of the Seattle area, because often what happens when we come to these conferences is we go to the conference hotel and there's good beer there and there are good people there, and we don't know what's going on around the area.
Yeah. So why leave? Well, Zot's showing us why.
Yeah, so where we have gone today is we have gone to Pike Market, is that right?
Yeah, the Pike Market is the big downtown food market and open market and lots of little stores.
Oh, it's just an incredible farmer's market and fish market, meats, restaurants.
But there are all kinds of vegetables and all kinds of fish, and just an incredible place.
Yeah, lots of little crafts, some art stuff, little creative food products. There was one shop that just had pepper jellies of all different flavors. There was several fish markets, as Steve said. There were some vegetable markets with stuff that I don't think I've ever seen some of the fruits and stuff that I saw in there. Really amazing stuff and really beautiful produce.
And the brewery that we landed at, the Pike Brewery, is a charming little place.
You can't go wrong there with their beers or their food, as we found out.
They had two kinds of saisons there at the brewery. We settled on the beer that we got a picture of was the Space Needle IPA. It was a wonderful, floral, delicious beer, and very good, very, very good. And the food was wonderful. 3 out of the 4 of us had the halibut and chips to eat, and the fish was good. And we had a meat plate that was also wonderful.
Oh, that's right. We got some cured meats that's local to this region. Delicious cheeses and meats. Excellent.
So now we're on to another area. Where are we going now?
The area of town in Seattle is called Georgetown. And it's at the same time both a young, hip area and old industrial area, which means you can kind of do anything you want here, from setting up a welding shop, artisan welding shop, to other kind of art. But therefore, it attracts a lot of nano breweries. But that's its brilliance, is everything is constantly changing around here, and so we're looking for one of 3 or 4 of the different nano breweries here. There's several breweries here, like Big Al's, that really support the home brewing community, that don't get the national exposure. So we're going to try and pop in and see what they have going on today.
So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this transition. Okay, the next stop, Two Beers Brewing. And how would you describe this brewery, Zod?
It's a brewery you hear about, every blog that talks about the great beers, but you never have managed to make it there. And I now know why. If you don't know where it is, you're not going to get there by accident. Everything's closed. It's after 7, so everything's closed. And there's a series of loading docks with one in the middle with people sitting there.
Yeah, happy people sitting inside of an establishment. That's where you know where the brewery is. And how would you guys describe the brewery?
Well, it was wonderful. You know, this is the same sort of place that we find in lots of parts of the country, where there's a group of really passionate beer lovers, and they're really pulling it together in one of these little industrial spaces. Obviously, they want low rent. That helps them get out of the chute. But these guys are making phenomenal beers, and everybody there is super passionate.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the knowledge that the brewers and the fellow behind the bar had, and it reminded me so much of it's the same vibe that you get at Avery. It's the same vibe you get at Lost Abbey, at Pizza Port. You name it. It's just amazing to me the amount of passion and knowledge that there is in the craft brewing world.
It's getting dark. I have no idea what the image is on this camera that we're talking to, but we've got one more stop. Where are we going, Zot?
So we're going to, we had to put everything up for a vote for where we wanted to go, and Naked City is this wonderful bar that actually brews their own beers and then has 20 other taps in there and wonderful food, versus Brouwer's Cafe, which is kind of a Belgian themed and Bavarian themed, a large place in Fremont. And it seemed like we're going to have to figure it out until they said, oh yeah, and Brouwer's really focused on sours, and all three of you went, Brouwer's.
Yeah, done. So Brouwer's Cafe it was, but it wasn't a sour beer that we chose to cap off the evening. It was a summer solstice, so we chose Jack and Ken's Ale from Sierra Nevada. Jack and Ken's Ale is based on Jack McAuliffe's barley wine recipe from New Albion Brewery. Jack would serve this beer every year at the brewery's summer solstice party. So we ended the evening by toasting Jack McAuliffe, the summer solstice, and good friends. Thanks again to Zot O'Connor for being such a gracious tour guide. What a wonderful day. Come and visit us on the web. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archived lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Extract Brewing and Partial Mashing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, Introduction to Wine Kits, and for a limited time, our 2012 Brewer's Logbook. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to James at basicbrewing.com, Steve at basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
Now, I gotta say, I thought the great thing about podcasting was none of us wearing pants.